Welcome to the Restore for Life show, where wetlands thrive and wonders grow. From tiny tadpoles to reeds so tall, we'll dive into the magic that binds it all. Meet Sam Tofts, who will be your host through the story of wetlands, where science, stories, and inspiring insights come together. Let's uncover the importance of these ecosystems.
Welcome to the very first episode of the Restore for Life podcast. I'm your host, Sam, and together with some special guests, we will be exploring the Restore for Life project. Restore for Life is made possible through the collaboration of 31 different partners, each bringing their own unique expertise to the table. Joining us today from Bucharest is the man responsible for holding it all together, the Restore for Life project manager, Dr. Mihai Adamescu. Mihai is head of the Research Center in Systems Ecology and Sustainability at the University of Bucharest. His research focuses on using systems ecology principles for the development of conservation strategies and management plans. Welcome, Mihai. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a real pleasure. Thank you.
That's all ours. So I gave you a kind of brief introduction, but perhaps you could maybe tell us a bit more about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I started more than 20 years ago studying wetlands, particularly in the Danube floodplain and also in the Danube Delta. My PhD was focusing actually on phytoplankton and very shallow lakes from the Danube and from the Danube Delta. And I have to say, this wasn't a dream that comes true, but actually it was very difficult because actually studying wetlands, it's very complex and complicated thing. And I wanted to study mountain lakes actually because they are more clear and everything is so crystal clear, let's say, than in the wetlands of Danube and Danube Delta. So yeah, 20 years, more than 20 years of wetlands, and work in wetlands, yes.
20 years well spent, I think. I guess, everyone wants to go for the sexy mountain, crystal clear lakes. Swamps and bogs aren't quite what everyone thinks of, but I think it's where a lot of important stuff is happening. So what really... where did it kind of start for you? What got you interested in general environmental work?
Well, I have to say that at the beginning we were studying more the processes that are happening in the wetlands, how wetlands are able to store carbon, how wetlands are able to deal with the many aspects, like for example, how different communities are living in wetlands for phytoplankton, zooplankton, how they are interacting, how the fish communities are able to survive in these conditions, and how they are, let's say, feeding into the Danube, because the wetlands are the reproduction place for many species of fish and for birds and so on. So we were interested more in this kind of processes. But later on, we got the idea that actually, and we were focusing more on the Danube Delta things. And later on, we figured out that actually we are also interested in how these things are related with the people, how people can benefit from the wetlands, and how wetlands have been mistreated, let's say, during many years, hundreds of years, and have been, let's say, eradicated from the Earth's surface because we needed other type of systems, like for example, agricultural ones. We used the rivers for transport, and we didn't want to have a complicated network. We want streamlines and things like that. So we were thinking how to enlarge our vision and involve people into this. And that's why we moved from this very focused approach, studying only the biological processes, to much more than that. I mean, to the society and developing this idea of socio-ecological systems. in which wetlands are an essential part. I mean, in this floodplain and the Danube Delta, and in many other places in Europe. Yeah.
So this is where you really started pulling on the systems thinking approach to this.
Yeah, we came from, at the University of Bucharest, we have a very good background dealing with systems ecology. And so we were we are part of a school dealing with systems ecology that is now moving towards sustainability much more than it was before. And I think this is the thing that we want to foster, moving from a pure biological and ecological understanding towards much more than that, which is understanding how the different socio-ecological systems, different social systems and different ecological systems are interacting, and how we can show to different people how these things are, let's say, benefiting, both benefiting. Yeah.
So this is where I guess Restore4Life comes in, and is this what Restore4Life is doing?
Yeah, mostly. We are trying to understand how. Over, let's say, hundreds of years, we were very good. I mean, in the bad way, as a society, to get rid of wetlands. So we were actually destroying wetlands at a huge scale. So more than 80% of the wetlands in Europe are destroyed in this moment. So we actually transformed them into agricultural land, cities, and things like that. And so the wetlands is actually restricted to only particular areas, or are just remnants of the former big wetlands that actually were in the floodplains of river or in the deltas of rivers. And I have to say that the wetlands have they have a huge role. And we just, I mean, we knew about the role, but doing this kind of cost-benefit analysis in the past, actually, they decided, no, we just need agricultural land. So we transformed a lot of the wetlands into agricultural or cities, or I don't know. And so in this moment, what we, with the help of European Union and with the help of people that are thinking that we need to restore wetlands, and not only wetlands, but forests and other type of systems, we were thinking, okay, how can we bring something in the Danube Basin, how we can bring something to, and try to restore as much as possible from these wetlands. And here is a problem. Let's say one is that we know that we destroyed 80% of the wetlands, but in the same time, we don't know exactly where the wetlands were. This is one aspect. So this is
finding them now.
Or we know, but it's very relative. Then there are a lot of other. So agricultural land is still there. So you need to deal with many people that are actually owner of the agricultural land. So in order to restore, you need to have either to explain very well how the restoration could happen. So you need tools, you need engagement with different stakeholders. You need to explain them that actually restoring wetlands, it's good also for many of the people that are living there. Wetlands are providing a lot of benefits. So from fish, for example, to different to people, but also capturing a lot of carbon, providing other type of biomass to different people, storing not only carbon but also nutrients. Wetlands have a huge impact on seas, for example. So on the Black Sea, you can actually see what is the influence of the wetlands in terms of reduction of nutrients entering the Black Sea. So there are a lot of benefits, and actually this is the why we thought about Restore4Life, to find ways to better understand the complexity of the things, the complexity of the relationship between people that own now agricultural land and how to restore the wetlands, the complexity of the wetland themselves that are providing a lot of benefits for the people, and also to show to different stakeholders how important are the wetlands. And it's not an easy task, I have to say, to discuss with stakeholders.
I can imagine.
With the agricultural, for example, with different stakeholders, like, for example, the people that are working the land. It's very difficult. But yeah, we are trying, and we are developing a series of tools that will help people. And also, this is a lighthouse project. A lighthouse means that we are just opening a door to restoration. So by providing tools, by providing easy to use tools, by engaging stakeholders, by discussing with citizens, and by bringing them together and involving them in this co-creation and co-development process, I think this will help in the future to develop other projects and allow others to restore wetlands at a bigger scale, the scale that actually we need in order to ensure the aims and the objectives of the restoration law that just passed. Yeah, it's now on the right.
So you think by setting an example of a working project, this can lead to further restoration efforts?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is the aim of lighthouses projects, and on the Danube basin we have other sister projects that are working towards the same goal, and we are actually cooperating a lot with them for this reason and for the aim of restoration, wetland restoration in the Danube basin. Yeah.
So you kind of mentioned that it seemed like human expansion seemed to be the biggest threat to wetlands. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we during the last hundreds of years, and in the Danube, not necessarily so long, but actually in the last, let's say, 60, 70 years, we were very good at transforming the wetlands into agricultural land and cities. So, and we also transformed the rivers by streamlining them. So during this, we also destroyed a lot of wetlands, and we also transformed it into other type of uses. For sure, this is one of the cases. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think development and these ecosystems, it's possible for them to coexist?
Yeah, this is an interesting question. Yeah, actually, many people are thinking that these two, so natural systems and transformed systems and development and natural ecological systems are in conflict, and actually they are not. And it's very easy to understand. We are actually all of the things that we are developing, having as a foundation natural systems. We cannot exist. We are not living on the moon. We are not living on the Mars yet. Hopefully we will live in the future. But in this moment, we are using all the resources on Earth. So actually what we are doing, it's all the development, it's occurring on land. So we are transforming land. We are using agroecosystems to produce food. We are using wetlands to harvest different types of resources. We are using other type of systems also for our development. But actually, they are not in opposition. We need both type of systems. We need natural systems and developed systems. Other type of systems like cities and agricultural land, but we need to understand that these are in connections. There is no all of this battle between nature and development. It's actually artificial one created by different categories of people that want to put this on top agenda. Actually, we need natural systems in order to survive. And that's why it's called Restore4Life, because natural systems are the support for our lives. it are the support for our development and the support for the future, actually. And this is very important for us. So.
Okay, yeah. And do you feel like further development can happen, or it's a bit more of a kind of stop, consolidate, restore what we have?
Well, we need to, yeah, we need to figure it out how to ensure that we are a resilient society, and resilience and it's not only about development for the next I don't know 1,000 years. It's about ensuring a way in which we are coexisting with the nature in such a way that we are fulfilling all our needs, but also we are understanding that among the needs that we have, there is also the need to sustain ourselves for indefinite time. And in doing so, you need a lot of natural systems, because natural systems are also doing a lot of things for us. Like I said, storing carbon, storing nutrients, providing air, providing clear water, transforming the things that we are throwing in the system, in other systems. So we need those systems because they are doing all the job that we need, actually, like I said, transformation or food or whatever, without not necessarily putting a lot of efforts from our side. So if you want, for example, an agricultural system to provide you with food, you need a lot of energy to be inputted from our side into the system. You need to go with the tractors on the land. You need to be sure that nothing else is there except the crops that you want. And for that, you put a lot of energy into that system. In wetlands, for example, you don't need necessarily to put anything into that. All the
looks after itself.
Yeah, all the things that the wetland is providing, it's providing due to the sun and the water and the precipitation, yeah, let's say. And everything, it's free, let's say, it's in a way. Yeah.
So what would you say we can do as a society to increase the impact of restoration efforts?
I think we need to communicate better. I have to say that I was thinking what is one of the biggest problem that we have is that we are not able as a scientist to communicate better these ideas that actually you need nature in order to be resilient as a society. Because people are saying, oh, we can survive without nature. I mean, look at the cities. In cities, you have you have very few areas that are natural areas or parks or I don't know. So we can survive without nature, but actually you cannot survive without nature, because outside of the city, there are huge areas with either natural systems or forests or things like that that are actually contributed to the well-being of the people inside of the cities. So we need to be able to maintain this balance between natural systems and transformed systems. Yeah, I think this is very important.
And you think communication is very key to that?
I think communication. Yeah.
Go on, please.
I think communication it's very important, and communicating and involving actually different stakeholders in the decision-making process. I think this is very important. You cannot transform an agricultural area into a wetland without the support of the people that are exploiting or are owner of that agriculture. And if they piece of land, if they are not understanding what are the benefits, not only for them, but also for the society, but mainly for them, you cannot transform, you cannot restore wetlands at the scale that we want and we need in order to support and to support us as a society and to become a more resilient society. Yeah.
Okay, and how do you see a lot of collaboration like this in the field at the moment?
Well, I think yes, there is. There are a lot of small communities that are understanding or they are, let's say, trying to change their minds and try to understand how wetlands are useful for many people and how people can benefit. And what we are doing also in, for example, in Restore4Life, we are building small wetlands, more, let's say, experimental wetlands for schools. So we are transforming, because it's not necessarily a need to change only the minds of the people that are living now, but also the minds of the future generation. And for that, yeah, we are creating small experimental wetlands. We are involving children into understanding how the wetlands are good for us as a society. What are these wetlands providing to us? So, for example, in the Danube floodplain, most of the floodplain area has been destroyed. We have dikes all along the Danube, and the children that are living in the very close proximity to the Danube, they didn't saw a wetland. They saw only the Danube. They saw a very small area that it's flooded from time to time, and they usually nobody is going there because I don't know the different conditions. But actually, they are only seeing the agricultural land. And usually, in many instances, this is abandoned areas from time to time, for example. What we are trying to explain to them and to bring them, it's okay, just have a look. What is a wetland providing to you? What is how different, let's say, organisms are living there? What are the birds that are coming, for example? What are the animals that are coming to this kind of wetlands, and plants and communities, and how they are interacting. So it's also a discovery process, I think. And we are also acting not only on the existing people, the existing communities, but also on the future, on the children and the future generations. And I think this is important too.
Absolutely. I think giving that people that kind of tangible experience of wetlands is essential for, you know, allowing them to understand them.
Yeah,
that's great. So you've had like a long line of work in this field. Would you say there's something looking back that you're most proud of in your work?
well, yeah, this is a nice question. Well, we at the research center, we have been involved in developing a lot of research infrastructures. And one of the things that I'm really proud is actually being involved in a European long-term ecological research network, which is actually a research infrastructure. And we are also cooperating with LifeWatch, which is another research infrastructure. And we are very proud of becoming part of these infrastructures, which is a long time process. And, you know, like it was, I don't know, several hundreds of years ago with the meteorological studies in which they standardized everything, all the measures and all the variables that are actually measuring now. We are trying to do the same with the environment. So we are trying to identify essential biodiversity variables that should be used across different environments. And we are also focusing not only on the environment as it's defined, but also on the social part. So we are trying to study socio-ecological systems in a standardized way. And so this kind of research infrastructure are helping us to build this. And developing these infrastructures is also the foundation for other type of research. So including the wetlands. So, and this is what I'm proud of, let's say, together with many others.
Yeah, lots of hard work. So kind of like launch pad, I guess, and you know, enhanced collaboration in the future. So yeah, speaking of the future, actually, you know, do you have any personal reasons to be hopeful for the future? Would you have a call to action for the people listening?
Yeah, well, I think when the times are difficult, and in this moment I feel that the times are very difficult, not only political, but also in many other fields. I think it's a tough time. So when it's like that, what we can do is actually to enhance our resilience and work harder, and I don't know how to, like an icebreaker through to different times, to difficult times. We have to go further on. So I think what we are going to do and what we are doing now is to work harder, just to let's say through these difficult times, move forward. It's what we are doing now.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, diamonds are built under pressure, right?
Yeah.
Well, Mihai, thank you so much for this conversation. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. And yeah, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I really appreciate this, and I hope the other colleagues will also explain a lot about Restore4Life. And it's been a pleasure talking to you, Sam. And yeah, thank you very much.
Likewise. Thanks for your work. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, Sam, and a big thanks to our listeners tuning in to the Restore4Life podcast. If what you've been listening to is of interest to you and you'd like to learn more about Restore4Life, you should check out our website and our social media, which can be found in the description of this podcast. Until next time.